Alright guys, Gemini, and I'm back doing a video here. Okay, so let's talk about why video games in the 80s were better than video games today. And I'm talking about classics like Galaga, classics like Pac-Man, Super Mario Brothers, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, games like Legend of Zelda 2, which was a lot harder than Legend of Zelda 1. These games were iconic, and they're still iconic today. Like, for instance, if you're walking through a Target, you could go over to the entertainment center and you can still see Legend of Zelda paraphernalia, like right there: hats, socks, Link. I'm talking about iconic games. How about Dragon Warrior? Dragon Warrior was another iconic game that will never be repeated today. I think one of the things for me growing up in the 80s with the original Nintendo, in comparison to the video games of today, is the video games from the 80s. I understand. It's such a simple concept. It's, you got little Mario here, and little Mario has to go to the end of the stage and face all the challenges to get to the end of the stage, which is to the right. It's such a simplistic thing. It's such an easy thing to comprehend. It's not confusing at all. And I look at the video games today, you know, the Call of Duty and the Modern Warfare and the crazy just fighting insane games today are just so difficult for me to understand, and it's so difficult for me to grasp the concept of what exactly are we doing here. For instance, when I watch a child play a video game now, like even a Mario Brothers, I look at this Mario Brothers game and I'm like, what the heck? We used to jump on their heads, and now we're blowing them up, and it's insane to me, the advances in the video game industry. And it's safe to say I bowed out of the gaming industry just due to not understanding the complexity, the complexness, I guess you would say, of it. For me, when someone says video games, I always think about the originals. Like I said, the good ones, the Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Brothers, all the retro games. I even really liked Tecmo Football on Super Mario, or on Super Nintendo. I really enjoyed the Super Nintendo. Or I get another good one for you. I can't talk. I haven't done a video in a while. I got another good one for you from back in the day. How about Castlevania 2: Simon's Quest on the original Nintendo? Or that Castlevania 2 was one of the greatest games I ever played. I couldn't imagine what it would be like today if you put a Castlevania game out on the Xbox 14,000 or the PlayStation 97 or whatever the Wii or whatever they're playing now. I couldn't imagine how complicated a Castlevania 2 would be. It would be, okay, Castlevania 2, so simple. You're walking down the little castle, right? You got a whip. A bad guy comes in front of you, boom, you whip him. Now, who knows, in modern day video gaming, who knows what you would have to do to get the bad guy out of your way, if there was a bad guy. Did you have to go through some confusing thing just to get the whip out? Did you have to press 87 different buttons on the controller just to get the whip out? And that's another thing too. Like, the original Nintendo controller was so simple. There was an an A button, a B button, a select, and a start. When, you know, your mom would call you to dinner, you would pause it. And it was just so simple. I mean, these controllers now, they have buttons on the top, buttons on the side, rumble buttons. I mean, they have buttons all over the place. And as an old school gamer, you're sitting here and you're playing this and you're like, what the heck just pauses the game? And when you're older and you like video games, it's just so frustrating. It's like, what direction do you go? What button do you push just to freaking pause the game? And it's just, I definitely know one thing. The new age of video gaming is definitely not for me, because I sure as hell don't understand any of that stuff. I loved Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!. So simple. You play Little Mac, and you know, whatever bad guy's there, you punch him in the head. So simple. Can you imagine a Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! Now in 2019? I mean, what would you electrocute the guy and steal his car and put him on fire? I give a big thumbs down to the new gaming industry. I absolutely give it a huge thumbs down. I give the classics from the 80s the thumbs up. Gemini, leave your comments below and subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you think about old 80s video games and the new stuff that everyone's playing today. Thank you for listening.